I want to start today's video with a joke that in essence reveals today's topic. An actress was on a date and the whole night she was talking about herself. Then she came to her senses and said, "Why am I talking about myself only? Let's talk about you. How did you like me in my new movie?" So first and most prominent sign you are on date with a narcissist is they are talking only about themselves and their own achievements, kind of like trying to sell themselves. And you keep getting the feeling like you are not on a date but on the promotion event of a new Volkswagen. However, it is just one of the signs that help you spot a narcissist quickly. There are many more, so make sure you stick to the end of this video. My name is Darina and I am fourth-year psychology student who runs a psychology vlog for happier living and happier relationships. So let's get started. The second sign is a complete lack of interest or strange reactions to your story. In the classic version, they will simply listen to you with a bored facial expression or interrupt you and redirect the conversation back to themselves. But there is another aspect to this. Sometimes after hearing your story, they may respond with a very high-flown phrase, something overly sophisticated, witty, philosophical, etc. For example, if you tell them that you left your previous job because the work-life balance was off and you had to do too much overtime, they might respond with something like that. Oh well, in modern times people use each other as objects to improve their own lives, treated by employers as expendable resources, so as a new generation, we must put an end to such exploitation of people. You might think, well, Darina, what's wrong with that? The person expresses their thoughts very well. However, the chances of an ordinary person saying something like that are very low, unless they are a professional philosopher or psychologist or so on. So why are they saying it? Because their main goal is not to show that they heard you and to reflect on your story, but to demonstrate how intelligent, beautiful, erudite, etc. they are. In other words, so once again show their superiority and their greatness. Sign number 3 that your date is most likely a narcissist if they talk about things you cannot verify. They may use impressive names and appear very knowledgeable. For example, they might ask your opinion on the latest Stanley Kubrick or Alfred Hitchcock film. And if you ask normal questions like, "What are those movies? I actually do not know who is Stanley Kubrick," they might say, "You don't know who Stanley Kubrick is? Are you serious?" But the truth is they probably don't know either. They might have just quickly researched the top 5 producers on Wikipedia before the date because their main goal is to show that they are superior to you and know something you don't. They want to look like an absolute gem in your eyes and confirm their own importance. Your first reaction subconsciously might be discomfort or even a painful pinch to your self-esteem, which is completely normal. But I want to warn you to relax. You don't have to know everything in the world, and that doesn't make you unintelligent, uninformed or inferior. It's normal for people to have certain area of expertise and interests. Additionally, if you will start asking more in-depth questions, your date may also become lost. But because it is not your intention to make them feel uncomfortable, this is what they're counting on. The fourth sign that your date might be a narcissist is that they would refuse to do things they're not good at. They'll want to control the date and plan everything so that they don't look bad. For instance, if you suggest going bowling or bike riding, someone who doesn't have strong narcissistic traits might say, "You know, I'm not very good at biking. The last time I did it, it was in the high school, and I'm afraid I won't enjoy it. Or they might agree to go bowling just because they want to spend time with you, even if they're not particularly skilled at it. They might even joke about their skills and make fun of themselves. However, if you're on a date with a narcissist, they're likely to devalue the activity you suggest. They might say that only teenagers ride bikes, or they might twist the situation to make themselves look good. For instance, they might say, I've played so much bowling with my friends that I reached a level of professional where I'm always winning, so it's just not interesting anymore. This could be true, but you have to intuitively sense when someone starts to get nervous, devalue or exaggerate their emotions to hide their insecurity, or when someone is actually saying the truth. I want to note that we talked about the possible reactions of a classic grandiose narcissist, but there are actually 4 types of narcissists, or maybe even more. So if you want to delve deeper into the topic of narcissism and be amazed how different each type is, check this video, and I will see you next time.